It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we've got two movies opening up on the weekend before Thanksgiving, November 21st, 2008. One that became a global phenomenon, and the other that's a much better movie. So, let's just jump right on into it. Let's start off with the lesser of the two films we have here, and that is, of course, the movie that inspired a number of sparkling vampire fanboys and glitter and werewolves that are clearly not werewolves. This is Twilight.
I'm not scared of you.
You shouldn't have said that.
Critics agree. Twilight is the event film of the holiday season. 4 stars.
I feel very protective of you. I'm not the most dangerous thing out there.
He's coming after me?
The Los Angeles Times calls it a full-blown pop culture phenomenon. In 2 days, see what everybody's talking about. Twilight, rated PG-13, in theaters Friday.
Of course, this is based off of Stephanie Meyer's best-selling books, where you have this film focusing on the development of a relationship between Bella Swan, played by Kristen Stewart, and Edward Cullen, a vampire played by Robert Pattinson, and the subsequent efforts of Edward and his family to keep Bella safe from a coven of evil vampires. And before I actually watched these movies in one fell swoop for a blog post I did on the main website, I had only seen one Twilight movie in the theater, and that was Eclipse, which I got lucky on that one because that's the one that I would think is the best movie in the entire series, and that's the one that was actually the most tolerable one because David Slade, the director of that movie, actually saw something and said, hey, I can make something out of this and not make a movie that's not horrible. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was a lot better than it had any right to be. But, yeah, the Twilight movies in general, I avoided them for the longest time, so 10 years after this whole thing began, I sat down waiting for the worst from this, and finally, after 10 years of release and people saying that it's a bad movie, I have watched it, and it's not that bad. I overall didn't hate it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend this is actually a good movie, but the film is a little better than I think most people give it credit for. It wasn't an all-around disaster. There was at least effort being put into this, making it work for the main audience that it will appeal to. It appealed to the fans of the book, the tween girls who are going to go see this movie. You can see why they would indeed get a kick out of this. And while this is very much a generic romantic story, it's not one that I think is offensively bad, but not one that I think is particularly great either. In terms of the positives overall, Catherine Hardwicke, I think, did a pretty good job directing this. She carries much of the film through, and even the visual style of the film. It's not terrible. It's actually nicely done. And Kristen Stewart actually is kind of okay in this movie. It's one of those situations kind of like with the 50 Shades movies, where one half of your main couple is actually trying, while the other is just there to just act weird. And that is Robert Pattinson in this, who really does not work as Edward Cullen. He really does not. He is so one note and looks like he could care less about what he's doing. And, even Jamie Dornan in the 50 Shades of Grey movies, worth at least trying to not look insane. But Pattinson, not so much. But as we've learned from these movies since they've ended, a lot of the people that have been involved in these movies have actually gone on to become pretty damn good actors. Kristen Stewart has gone on to become a really good actress. Robert Pattinson has gone on to be a pretty good actor. But, yeah, in here, yeah, they can't elevate this material to anything that spectacular, but overall, this first one is just meh. I mean, there's nothing about it that's groundbreaking, but there's nothing that's that downright awful. I mean, we're going to get to some of the worst ones of the series as we move along here, but this one, it's a generic run-of-the-mill movie that left zero impact on me watching it. I saw it. It wasn't as bad as most people made it out to be, and I literally forgot about it the day after I saw it. It's like vapor. It goes through your ears, and you watch it after that, and then you immediately forget about it the next day. And now, if the series had just been this first movie in Eclipse, then Twilight probably would have actually been something. But sadly, there were still 3 more movies to go in this, and they are much, much worse than I was expecting them to be, and that's not promising at all. Although Eclipse was pretty good, so take that for what you will. That's my thoughts on the first Twilight movie. Now let's get to the movie that was overall the best movie that came out this entire weekend, and that is, of course, Disney's latest animated feature, Bolt.
Hello?
Penny, I don't have much time.
Daddy? I don't understand.
It's okay, Penny. You have Bolt. I've altered him. He can protect you now.
Bolt, speak.
Get that dog!
Nice move.
You'll never see Penny again! And
star of the biggest show in Hollywood.
She's still in danger.
The only problem is,
Hold on, Penny.
he thinks it's all real.
Don't let him out. He's never been off the set before. I'm coming, Penny.
Production of the hit television show Bolt shut down today when its star dog went missing.
You look familiar.
What? Yeah, he's real good with the faces and such.
I gotta remember, it's gonna kill me. Hold on. No, I don't know. I thought I knew. I need someone close to the green-eyed man. A cat.
Wow, it's a good knot. Were you in the Navy?
Well, I'll release you, cat, when we find Penny.
You must be so scared.
Bolt's not scared of anything.
You're Bolt, the super dog! Where's Penny? She was kidnapped by the green-eyed man, but I've captured this cat.
You crazy, man!
She's taking me to Penny.
I can be a valuable addition to your team.
The road will be rough.
I have a ball.
Easy will be part of the equation.
Promise.
Danger at every turn.
I eat danger for breakfast.
You hungry? Starving!
This November.
How do you say no way I'm doing this in crazy?
Let it begin!
One unlikely team
Look, genius, you're not a super dog.
is on a mission to get back
He
home.
could be anywhere by now.
This is awesome!
And the comedy event of the holiday season
Bolt!
Bolt!
is about to be unleashed.
Super bar! Super bar! I need a fast set of wheels. I'll get my ball.
Bolt.
Let it begin! Let it begin!
Talk about a movie that a lot of people were not expecting to be as good as it ended up being. But man, this movie is essentially the Oliver and Company of this third Disney Renaissance, if you will, because, Meet the Robinsons kind of was the equivalent to, The Great Mouse Detective back in 86, and then the next movie, The Princess and the Frog, was the equivalent to Little Mermaid, then Tangled essentially became Beauty and the Beast, and then so on and so forth. I mean, this literally is the third Disney Renaissance we're starting to get into here, and even though I didn't like Meet the Robinsons, you got to give credit where credit is due. Once John Lasseter and his crew from Pixar came into Disney's animation studios, it led to this new creative direction that eventually led to a lot of really good movies from this era, and it's still continuing to this very day. Maybe not with every movie, but we'll delve into those as we go along here. But in terms of Bolt, this is a movie where you have John Travolta as a dog named Bolt, who spent his entire life on the set of a television series and firmly believes that he has superpowers. When his beloved owner Penny, played by Miley Cyrus, is kidnapped on the show, in quotation marks because this is all fake, Bolt runs away from the set to rescue her, eventually teaming up with a sarcastic alley cat named Mittens, played by Susie Essman, and a hamster named Rhino, played by Mark Walton, who is a fan of Bolt's television series, to embark on a cross-country journey back home. And the reason why this movie works so well is because it's just such a delightful, fun movie. It has the same enjoyment level of something like Oliver and Company. I mean, this is a film that really does feel like a nice slice-of-life movie where you have this character that... This is basically the Disney equivalent to The Truman Show, and it really could have gone down that route where it could have just easily just ripped off The Truman Show and just be done with it. But no, they took it an extra level. They brought a nice little homecoming, coming-of-age storyline here where you have this character played by John Travolta who has to deal with the fact that slowly but surely he has to realize that the world around him is not like the television show. It's like real life, and the film does a very good job of handling that, and it doesn't go down the same predictable routes that you think it does. I mean, there is not even a big misunderstanding, a misunderstanding at the end of the movie that luckily isn't focused on too much. I mean, it's gone within a couple of minutes overall, and of course there's even a little bit of a third act breakup, but again, not as bad as you would think it would be. It's something that's briefly touched on, and then immediately it's resolved pretty quickly. And nobody in here is double-crossing anybody. Miley Cyrus's character in this, I really like what she does in this movie, because I like the fact that her character isn't just another typical kid character where, she just gives up on finding the dog, finding Bolt after all this time he's been gone. No, she still very much wants to go and find him, but she can't because she has all these obligations and this kind of dickheadish PR agent, played very well by Greg Germain. In fact, a lot of the voice casting in here is really good too. I mean, James Lipton has a fun little role in here as the director. I mean, the guy who's of course been known for Inside the Actors Studio, he hasn't done a ton of acting roles where he's playing another character, but here I think he does it pretty well. It's a small role in here, but he plays it well to a T. I mean, you got Diedrich Bader and Nick Offerman having some fun. Is having a fun role in here, playing the faux villainous cats of the main villain, played by Malcolm McDowell. I mean, this is a really, really fun movie. It's a very fun film overall, and you just like the character so much. Bolt is such a fun, delightful character, and the way they animate him, like, it's hard not to not get attached to a little dog like that. I mean, he is cute, but he's also kind of a fun little badass too. Like, I like the way that, you know, he uses these powers, and he thinks he's using these powers in real life, but it's just the fact that, you know, just crazy circumstances happen. Like, you see a little bit in the trailer there, the super bark is used, like, you know, with the help of a rhino, and the way it's done in that you know, animal shelter that they go to in the middle there, like, it's a film that does all the tropes that you would expect it to do, but it never goes the full way through. It's only like little bits and pieces there, but it just works so well, and it knows it's not going to play dumb to its audience. Like, this is a smartly made film. Kids can get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and adults can get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and it doesn't have to dumb down to its audience in any way, shape, or form. This is such a very good movie, a very well-made film, one of my favorite underrated Disney movies, a film that, especially with what they've done after this, like Tangled, Frozen, Princess and the Frog, this one kind of gets a little bit pushed off to the side, but it's still one of my favorite ones to watch. Anytime it's on TV on Freeform, I'm automatically watching it because I just love this movie so much. I love the relationship between Bolt and Penny. I love the characters in this movie. I think it's just such a good, fun movie, a well-made film. Can't recommend this one enough. Bolt is absolutely amazing. It's a must-watch film from Disney. And so with all that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. We head into Thanksgiving weekend next time around with 4 big new movies, including the big holiday comedy of the year, Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon starring in 4 Christmases. We have Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman starring in Baz Luhrmann's latest film, Australia. Jason Statham has a sequel coming out this weekend, Transporter 3. And Sean Penn in his Academy Award-winning performance as Harvey Milk in Gus Van Sant's Milk. So we'll take a look at those 4 movies coming up tomorrow on the show. With all that said, though, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and hit the playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. Also, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification button, and the bell. That's where you get updates on when new videos come out. And we do post new videos here every day. And don't go too far away, because coming up on Time About the Movies Flashback, we're flashing back to June 5th, 1987, with 6 movies to look at, including The Untouchables, Harry and the Hendersons, Captive Hearts, Benji the Hunted, Wind Rider, and Shady. So we'll take a look at those movies coming up on Time About the Movies Flashback. That'll be coming up right after I post this, so please stick around. We will be right back.